guys, what is up? This is Matthew Davis, me once again. Welcome back to another movie review, aka After I Saw This time, and it's going to be on The Bad Guys. Now, The Bad Guys is DreamWorks Animation's latest film. This is based off a series of books, which I never heard of until the credits rolled at the end of this movie. But anyways, we follow a group of bad guys that are, dangerous animals. There's wolf, shark, piranha, snake, tarantula. Yeah, basically they had a pretty good choice for a bad guy since they're creatures that people are usually scared of. And everybody in this movie is scared of the bad guys. They are well-known criminals for doing types of bad stuff because, and when they go on a heist to steal this dolphin trophy, the leader, the wolf, accidentally does a nice thing for a woman, saving her when he is trying to steal her purse. And she calls him a good boy, and that changes him somehow. It makes him feel good. His tail starts wagging. So when they get captured, he decides to do a plan where they can finish their job if they become good guys. But instead of becoming good guys, they are planning to, steal this trophy to become bad guys. But the wolf, deep down, secretly does want to become a good guy, while his friends still want to remain bad guys. So he has to choose whether to be good or continue to be bad guys with his friends, because his friends, despite the fact that they're criminals as well, they're like family to him. Like, he's known them their whole life. I mean, we don't really see any backstory or anything like that. All that we know is that he's known them their whole life. Specifically the snake. The snake has a really big part in this movie. Now, I'm going to be completely honest, okay? When it comes to DreamWorks movies, I don't really get that excited for them. I usually skip out on a lot of them because a lot of them nowadays, they don't really interest me that much. Abominable didn't interest me. Cruise a New Age didn't interest me. Trolls World Tour definitely didn't interest me because I didn't like the first one. And I only saw Boss Baby Family Business because I got off work very early and I didn't have anything else to do, and I had another movie ticket with me. I was saving the new Purge movie with my dad, so but that's basically why I really did not need to see that movie, and I almost didn't want to review it, but I did, and it wasn't terrible, but I'm never going to watch that movie ever again. But I'm not going to lie, this movie actually did interest me a little bit. It did interest a lot of my friends on Facebook, and I gotta say, this is one of their better films in quite a while. This is their biggest surprise since Captain Underpants. I did not think that movie was going to be good at all, but it was. And while this film definitely has its problems, there actually is quite a bit to enjoy. I feel like this movie is definitely going to appeal to a lot of kids, and I think adults will have a good time with the movie. Okay, for one thing, despite the fact that this movie is called The Bad Guys, it does have quite a bit of heart to it. Despite the fact that, this movie, while it doesn't have the most original concept, I mean, the protagonist of the movie is a bad guy. I mean, DreamWorks has already done that with Megamind, but Megamind was really good, and of course, there's the Despicable Me series, but I'm not gonna lie, I kind of do like seeing when, criminals or bad guys or villains do end up becoming good. I mean, Terminator did that with Terminator 2 and other films like that. I mean, the third Star Wars movie, Darth Vader helps Luke Skywalker just before he dies in the end. And I don't know why, but even in video games, despite the fact that you can be good or bad, I always tend to be good. Like, I beat the pacifist route for Undertale so many times. I just like seeing that. Of course, the movie does get kind of predictable because there's like this one character where you have a feeling that, the bad guys aren't really the main bad guys, but if I go more into that, that's going to be spoilers. And despite the fact that this is a kids movie, I'm still not going to spoil it for you. But like, this movie takes a lot of twists and turns that I wasn't really expecting. Some of them I kind of was, but kids aren't really gonna care most about that. All they want is to be entertained by a bunch of talking animals that are criminals. But in terms of voice acting, everybody's really good. I'm not familiar with most of the voice actors. I am familiar with Sam Neill and Craig Robinson and Alex Bornstein, who plays like the main human cop of the movie. If you don't know, she is the voice of Lois from Family Guy, so I did not know that till, again, the credits rolled. But the movie was very entertaining and it was very fast paced. And what I also really liked was the art style of the movie. The art style was really cool. I guess that's also what I was intrigued by because DreamWorks is known for using the same animation just like Pixar is, but the animation is kind of like a mixture of some brief 2D animation style with 3D animation. Like there's this one fight sequence that has a lot of like stylish slashes and stuff that looks 2D animated. It actually looks really cool with some brief cell shading put in there as well. I thought it looked really cool. And the movie is, like I mentioned before, really well paced. It's not very long. I mean, it's only an hour and 40 minutes, so I feel like that's just enough to keep the movie going on. It didn't really make a whole lot of sense, but there are some running gags that happened in this movie, which I guess the only one that I didn't really like was there was a fart joke with a piranha that happens. That's actually kind of helpful for them in some parts, but yeah, and there's a part where there's like this moon asteroid thing that becomes big to the plot that they keep calling a butt. Um, but hey, it does have its jokes that I feel like are definitely aimed a lot more to the kids, but I feel like there's a lot that adults can appreciate to this film. Like I mentioned before, it's surprisingly very heartfelt, and I actually did enjoy the characters, despite the fact that they have very cliched names. They're just named after the animal that they are. But I found them to be very entertaining in this movie. That's the best way I can describe it. It's a very entertaining movie, and it's a really good plot about, choosing whether to be good or evil, like leaving your family or continuing to live out the good life. But it gets a lot more different than that. But it's a movie where you're just thinking to yourself, are they going to remain good or are they going to remain criminals? Because yeah, it's not really hard to explain because it's a kids movie. A lot of these are really easy to bring out, especially when it comes to DreamWorks. But in the end, guys, I really had a surprisingly fun time with the Bad Guys. It's entertaining enough. Kids will enjoy it. Adults will appreciate it. It's definitely a film that I feel like parents are definitely gonna have a fun time with their kids. If you're looking for a fun family adventure film filled with crazy jokes and fast-paced action and stuff like that, then I feel like you're gonna have a really good time with this movie. I didn't expect it to be like the next How to Train Your Dragon or anything like that. It's definitely not as good as other animated films that came out, Turning Red or Belle, but I appreciate it for sort of trying something different. The biggest difference is its animation, okay? But I mean, it doesn't have the most fully original plot. I mean, there are some things that don't completely like I wouldn't say rip off, like I wouldn't say like copy other things, other projects and stuff like that. But there are some different things that it takes away from other kids movies that have this concept as well. But I had a really fun time with this movie. Hopefully, you guys will as well. I'm actually glad that I ended up enjoying this movie because it really didn't look that bad to me. Okay, so I did actually want to see this one. So great job, DreamWorks! You made me interested in one of your films again, and I ended up really liking it. All right. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Word out.